here's the deal. If Encanto had come out in November of 2021 and not December of 2021, I genuinely think I would have etched it into my top 10 movies of 2021. We're going 5 minutes into the movie. I'm like, this is okay, all right, okay. And then I'm like, I think I'm missing something. And it's because this movie wasn't made for me. This movie wasn't made with me in mind or with so many people in mind. This was made for people of Colombia. This is to celebrate like the culture and all the facets and try to hit every little thing, whether it's the food that the mom uses to heal all her family in the city, or it's the architecture, or it's the color choices, or it's the clothes. It's crazy how much detail they put into this movie. I had the pleasure of talking with one or two people who are from Colombia who were over the moon about this movie. They were just like, wow. I mean, it just means a lot that they took the effort to make this movie and really as a love letter to Colombia, and just to really like stand as a tentpole against like generations of negative reviews, like negative like reviews and news. And so to have a mainstream movie like this seems to really have made a splash to the people of Colombia that I have personally talked to. Number two, I think just talking about narrative standpoints, if you're just talking about narrative standpoints with Disney movies and what we have grown to expect, is that this is an extremely fantasy movie with all these fantastical elements to it, all this magic, and there is no big bad evil villain to defeat with said magic. Off the top of my head, I cannot think of another Disney movie, or Pixar movie for that matter, that does this in this way. There was no centralized villain of the story. And don't you start talking about the grandma. I know she's a bad person. She's the Umbridge of this movie. I get it, but like, calm down. Don't at me in the comments about the grandma, okay? We'll get to that in a minute. So this is a down-to-earth family drama, and it's about a lack of communication in some respects. Express yourself truthfully to your family of who you are and what you want to accomplish with your life. And it's also about, parents or grandparents or whatever, legal guardians, like setting high standards and too much pressure on their kids. I think it also attributes that, across the board, and like whether it's your friends, your found family, your work, like just the expectation of the world today of like, you just gotta give, like until there's nothing left. It's just down to earth. Like, there's always the perfect one. There's the strong and insecure one. There's the just kind of meh, normal kid. There's the little kid who's so cute. There's a little kid. There's crazy, wacky pets, like there's a casual, laid-back dad. There's a mother who always trying to comfort you. There is the gossiping, like, secret keeper and whisperers. There's the, the chameleon of the family, So there's no way, if you really look at it, that you can't find someone that in your life who has some of these traits of this giant family. So that's what, in my second viewing and then my slow burn analysis of this movie, has really made me appreciate, wow, I found someone who's like this. I found someone who's like this. And that made me relate to the movie more. It made me enjoy it. So just a little tidbit on that grandma stuff. Like, Abuela is getting a lot of hate in the reviews of this movie. And I mean, that's kind of the deal, right? Like, this is exposing like people having beef with their parents or their grandparents. Like, every single person in this, like, that was the whole story, right? Was that they were making one of them was forced to be too perfect, another one was forced to be too strong and take all the burden, Another one was judged and put off to the side because she thought she was a jinx and that she didn't have any power, so she wasn't worthy of attention. Like, those are all bad things. But our culture today, in my opinion, is too quick to just cut people out of their lives forever. I think that what this movie is teaching us, or should be teaching us, is that we just need to be able to put in the work, communicate, and do what we can in order to grow together. I think if you go and listen to or read if you don't speak Spanish, you read the English lyrics to the completely Spanish song. I don't know. The song is just talking about like being able to grow apart and come back together. Go off on your journey, come back. Don't just like say, you're out of my life forever. Try to work on it. So be encouraged. Hope this brings families together, not emboldens you to run away. The last thing that might get you a little discombobulated, a little disconnected in this whole deal is a little more niche for me, I think, but it could be with everyone else, is that the filmmaking style was very music videos, right? It's almost to the point of where it takes away from the narrative, where it just like, all right, we're in a dancing music video, and like this movie was pure musical, like more than like Moana, more than Frozen, like the thing with Encanto is it has the same amount of amazing earworm, like stuck in your head for months songs, but they take it from a almost explicitly stage musical adaptation of it. Like they do it from that perspective, as opposed to like Moana, like it's like she's sailing out, she's singing while she's sailing. Frozen, she's exploring her ice powers and stuff like that. But this is different. It's like, all right, here's the scene. Like, so it's more actual musical style than most of the other Disney musicals are. It has that innate, I mean, Lin-Manuel's a part of this, so this innate Hamilton quality to it. So in that, the camera angles, which in an animated or CGI something, you can move around to all these different side things. So you've got like, you're just doing all these impossible shots that you couldn't get in real life. And it just felt more stylized, and it just kind of took, when I first watched it, it kind of just took me out of it. It felt like the songs were the priority, not the narrative. And you could argue that that's the case, but over time, I've grown to really appreciate this movie. I didn't understand what it was about the first time. Like, I got it, but it didn't click. I got it, it didn't resonate with me. And so I hope by pointing out these three main things to you, whether it's the history, the Columbian culture, or the musical like styles of it, or the fact that you're wondering like, well, this is not what I normally expect. I'm expecting fantasy, but I'm getting like low-key drama. And so like just normal family stuff. And maybe you don't go to the movies to see the family drama. Like maybe you try to escape the fantasy and you were upset. That could be you. I don't know. But all I ask is that you give it one more shot. This is not, paid advertisement from Encanto. I'm just saying I made a mistake. I'm not going to go reverse my 2021 stuff, but I think I probably would have put this in my top 10 of last year. Sleep on it. Watch it again. Think about it. Find your family relative you can relate to. Enjoy the songs. Jam out a little bit and see what you think. Let me know in the comments section if you loved it initially, if you hated it initially, if you're never going to watch it again. Yeah, so thanks. See you on the next video.